Hi, good morning, all of you. So today we have continued from modern business environment. We have learned about the modern business environment in last session. And now we will learn some more point from today's modern business environment. So if you will see the base of entire modern business environment is that actually the environment has changed. So since the trade barrier have removed, we are using internet a lot. India is one of the largest internet users are in India. So you can see, since the trade barrier have removed, it is easy to transport the goods. It is easy to communicate the information. So all because of such reason, it is easy to do your business globally. And if we have our business global and entire world has become one market, so what happened, entire world is one market. For this reason, in this one market, the number of supplier have increased and the number of buyer have decreased. So since in this entire world, the number of buyer have increased, in this entire world, the number of supplier have increased and number of buyer have decreased, right? Buyer have decreased. And now the customer has decreased in the market, right? So since the number of customers are decreased and they're more aware now, right? They have information are freely available on internet, right? If you want to buy something, you can just search on internet, right? You will get the best price product at the least price from the best website. So the point is that you can observe it very easily as a customer. Customer are very aware now, right? And for that reason, customer are very, they have full knowledge about the market. So the point is that now the market have shift from the seller market to a buyer market. Now buyer are in dominating positions. So since the buyer or the customer are in dominating position, we need to understand this, that we have to keep these customers happy always. And if we want to keep them happy, we always need to supply them a quality product. We need to supply them a quality product, all right, so that we can keep them happy. So if you will see here in last session, we have learned about the quality. But we have learned this in last session, that how we can develop the quality. And we were learning also that we actually, our focus is that to develop a quality product at the least cost. And it is possible. It's not like it's not possible. It's possible to develop a high quality product at a least cost. And we have learned that if we focus on value chain analysis, focus on removing all the non-value-added activity, that means just remove all the waste from the organization, we will left with only the value-added activities. And in case if we have only the value-added activities, we can focus on them, we can improve them to provide the best quality product and the services to the customer. We have learned all these things. And then we have learned that these philosophies was first developed in Japan. And in Japan, what happened after Second World War, Dr. Joseph M. Jurin and W. Edward Deming, they went to Japan to help the people of Japan, right? We have learned this, right? And these people, they gave their philosophy in Japan. And just because of their philosophy, Japan have achieved to convert their economy to world's third largest economy. Japan was completely destructed because of Second World War. But just because of the philosophy given by these two people, W. Edward Deming and Dr. Joseph M. Jurin. So just because the philosophy given by these two people, the country was completely a major transform in the country, right? And actually, it was all begun from the Toyota company, right? It was all started with Toyota company, right? So if we will learn this third chapter, you will see that in third chapter, we will learn about the lean system, right? We will see about the just-in-time system. Just-in-time system is also known as Toyota production system. And you will learn many other philosophy, and you will find like Kaizen costing, you will find that the base origin of these philosophy is what? The origin of these philosophy is Toyota company, right? And if you will find about the Toyota company, they have adopted most of the philosophy that was given by W. Edward Deming and Joseph M. Children, right? This was just a base. So you can imagine just two persons have given so good philosophy, right? That it helped the country from destruction to world's third largest economy. You can imagine, right? Okay. So now we were learning about the W. Edward Deming 14 methodologies that help in quality revolution in Japan, right? So if you will see here, what do we have? We have learned these philosophies. If you want, I can revise it again because we have learned it in last session. All right, so let's revise them quickly. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So this philosophy was given by them. So let's see. First one is what? W. Edward Deming. The first philosophy was create constancy for purpose toward improvement. All right. This was the first philosophy, that the organization wants to improve themselves continuously. We have learned this in last session, that the organization wants to continuously improve themselves, right? Then we have learned about adopting the new philosophy. So here we have discussed that we will encourage every employee in the organization. We will encourage them not to produce the defective unit. We will encourage them to develop a habit of developing or producing a quality product right the first time. We will help them to understand this philosophy, right? So we have learned that we were focusing on a new philosophy to produce the quality product right the first time, right? We have learned this. Then we have learned about seizures on dependency on inspection. So we have learned this in appraisal cost and prevention cost. So we have learned that if we produce a quality product right the first time, keep your entire process in such a way, the entire system in such a way that you will always produce a quality product right the first time. So when you are producing the quality product right the first time, what will happen? Obviously, you're not producing any defective product, any error. So what will happen? You will have the quality product always. You know that your organization is so organized and the process is so good in the organization. Everything is so good. Your employee are working in such a good manner that everything is so good that you are always producing a quality product right the first time. So when you know that your organization is producing quality product, you do not need inspection, right? So here what is happening, it is mentioned that we want to cease the dependency on inspection. All right, next. We have learned, see, these are the points which we have learned in last session. I'm just revising these points. Then the next point we have learned about dependency on what? Move toward one supplier. So instead of buying the raw material from different supplier, buy the raw material only one supplier, right? So this is what happening here, that if you buy the raw material from one supplier, so actually the variation because of raw material will not arise. Since if, for example, if you are buying the raw material from different supplier, maybe the quality of raw material from one supplier will be different from the quality of raw material from the other supplier. What will happen in this case? So what will happen when you will produce the final good from the raw material? The variation may arise, because the raw material is different. You have purchased the same raw material from the different supplier. So some variation may arise, right? So in order to avoid such variation, it is better to purchase the raw material from one supplier. But the question may comes in your mind, ma'am, If we buy all raw material from one supplier, what if the supplier fail to supply the raw material? What will happen then? Our entire production process will be disrupted. So the point is that here, since we are buying the raw material from one supplier, first we will make good relationship with the supplier. We will ensure that the raw material supplied by the raw supplier will be uninterrupted. It will be never interrupted because of any reason. And our engineer will always sit in the supplier's premises. Okay? So our one person will always sit in supplier's premises to check everything, that whether they are supplying the raw material properly or not. It is, everything. So in this way, we can avoid this demerit from here. Okay. Next is your improve constantly and forever. What is the meaning of this point? This point means that continuous improvement, and improvement is a never-ending task. Okay? So you will never say that your organization is a perfect organization and you don't need any improvement. You will never say that. Okay? So it is mentioned that no matter how good your organization is, doesn't matter, but there is always some scope of improvement. And what we have to do, we always have to find that scope of improvement to improve the organization. We always have to find it, right? So it is mentioned here that no organization is a perfect organization, and there is always some scope of improvement, and we have to find it always. Right? We have learned all these points in last session. I'm just revising. All right. Okay. Next point was we have learned about institute training on the job. So we have learned about the learning curve, right? We all have learned about the learning curve. Now the point is that if you have learned about the learning curve, what will happen? We know that our employee, they gradually learn the work, right? Initially, maybe they are unskilled, but gradually the employee will learn the same. When he will repeat the same task again and again, what will happen? He will learn it, right? When the employee will repeat the same task again and again, he will learn it. So the point is that initially, when the labor is unskilled, he will produce defective units. He will do the mistake. He will do the errors. When someone is unskilled, when I'm new in a job, right? I remember when I have started something for the first time. When you as a student, you will start your studies for the first time, definitely when you will solve your question, you will do the errors, mistakes, right? So when we do something for the first time, we do the errors, right? It's human nature. But gradually, when we repeat the same task again and again, we improve, right? And we achieve perfections. So in this way, to avoid any inefficiencies, to avoid any errors and defects from the organization, we should first train the employee. Don't allow unskilled employee to work in the organization. Organization may have unskilled employee because when we hire someone, they are unskilled, right? So we will first provide them training to work, right? We will provide them training to work. Gradually, they will learn through training, and then we will allow them to work on the premises. So here it is mentioned that institute training on job, right? Provide training for them. All right. So this is mentioned here. Next is this topic also we have learned in last session, I remember. So institute leadership. So actually the point is that there is difference between the leader and a boss, right? Actually there is difference. They are not same. Leader is different and a boss is different. They're not same. I know. So how they are different? Actually the way they perform the work. All right. The way they perform the work makes the difference between the boss and leader. So if you will see, a leader always encourage the team. A leader always have a team, right? Leader never work in hierarchy, right? Hierarchy you must have seen in government organization or many old organizations. where the organization have the hierarchy, the top level management and below them and below them. In this way, the organization have hierarchy, and the higher authority, they dictate to the lower authority that you have to do this today, you have to complete this file, you have to complete this file by the end of the day, right? You have to submit it by the end of the day, you have to complete the work on these 15 files by the end of the day. So the point is that here a boss is dictating, right? He is not working as a leader, he is just a boss and he is dictating, right? But a leader, he actually makes a team, right? He always take the advisors from the team and he work with the team, right? They all work as a team. No one is having the higher authority or the lower authority. It's all, the people all work as a team and leader actually lead them, right? There is no dictatorship, right? No one is dictating someone. They all work together, they share their ideas together and they work together. So in this way, leader work together, and I hope you can understand, you will find it the best strategy, right? If we work in this way, you'll find, oh, this is the best thing, right? This is the best way the people are doing the work, right? Being a leader is the best thing, right? Instead of being a boss, right? So this is required if you want to produce a quality product in the organization, if the organization wants to produce the quality product. All right. This is something we have learned in last session. Now let's talk about drive out the fear, this point. Now what happened? If, for example, in an organization, a person is a boss, not a leader. Okay. A person is a boss and he's not a leader. So what will happen? Actually, he's just dictating the people. So what will happen? The lower level employees, they scared of sharing their ideas, right? And the point is that, see, no matter how, low level employees is working in the organization, everyone's ideas is important, right? Because we have learned everyone, everywhere, every day should help in improving the organization. So everyone should involve in the improvement. And we have learned no matter how small changes is, it is relevant. Even a small change in the organization is actually matters a lot. We will learn this in Kaizen costing. So the point is that for that, we need encouragement, we need participation, we need team involvement. So if you want team involvement, team participation, you want everyone to participate in improvement of the organization, then we need to drive out the fear in the employee, right? If the employee fears of the boss, oh no, I will not share my idea with the boss, otherwise the boss will scold me. If the employee have such kind of fear, then what will happen? He will never share the idea with the company or the organization, and the organization will never improve. All right. So for that reason, it is mentioned, if you want a quality product, if you want to develop total quality in the organization, if you always want to produce a quality product in the organization, then drive out the fear, right? Drive out the fear among the employee, right? Drive out fear among the employee. Next is break out the barriers, right? So what is written here? Break down barriers between the department. So what happens generally, the organization may have different department, like the organization may have finance department, the organization may have marketing department, the organization may have accounting department, organization may have sales department. So in this way, organization can have different department, right? Also, the organization have the cabin system. Like you can see in the organization, director is sitting in a separate cabin, right? Managing director is sitting in a separate cabin. So the organization can have these two systems, right? Cabin system, and the second one is barrier between the department. So what happened if you created such barriers between the employees, between the team? What will happen? Such barrier actually create a barrier amongst the employee to share their ideas. We have recently discussed that we need a team and we need everyone's involvement. So if you want to develop a team and if you want to have everyone's involvement, then what should you do? What should we have to do? We should remove these barriers amongst the department. We should, if you will see in multinational company, like people sit together in this way, right? MNCs, people sit together. So in the same place, the managing director of the company is sitting in the same place, the execute level employees sitting in the same place, the senior management is sitting, So at the same place and on the same desk, all of them are sitting together, they are working together, and they are sharing the ideas with each other. So this is the way, this is how a leader should work with the team, right? So it will help to drive out the fear among them, right? It will help them to share the ideas with each other, right? So this is how the things happen here. Drive. Next is eliminate slogans. Now just try to understand the meaning of this, eliminate the slogan. So generally what happened, in order to encourage the employee to work more, so company, they put the slogan on the walls. Have you seen, like, I remember when I was a student, as a CA student, my room was full of chart on the walls and full of slogan everywhere. Right, everywhere I wrote big slogans for myself, right, to avoid any procrastination or failure in my life. So on my table, on my desk, on the wall, everywhere I put some slogans for myself to motivate myself, right? So similar thing may happen in the company. For the employee, the employer or the organization may put slogans on the wall so that employees should keep in mind that they have to work here. They have to give the good output, right? Now, what is written here, W. Edward Deming is saying, avoid such slogans, right? He has mentioned here, eliminate all the slogans, right? Now, why is it happening? Why he's advising to eliminate the slogan, right? So if you remember, in last session, we have discussed that most of the problem in the organization, most of the defect or error in the organizations are arising not because of employee, but because of the company's own system. Company's system is not good, right? Company's process is not good. Company's procedure is not good. The way the company is producing the good, the way the company is buying the raw material, the way the company is distributing the final good, the company's own process is not good. And because of which the company is producing defective units, right? Since the process of the company is not good, because of that, the company is producing defective unit. So the company should first focus on improving their process, not on improving the employee. Because we have learned that most of the error in the company arises because of your process, not because of your employee. So when you know that the error is because of the process, not because of the employee, like we have learned 85% of the problem, 85% problem arises because of your own process, right? Just 15% problem arises because of the employee. So when you know that 85% problem are arising because of your own process, so you should first focus on improving your procedure. Why are you unnecessary, scolding your employees or unnecessary motivating them with slogans? It is of actually no use, right? If the process is not good, obviously the employee can't work well, right? We have learned this in last session. W. Edward Deming was saying that bad company can beat a good employee. No matter how good the employee is, how skillful employee is, if the system is wrong, if the organization is bad, then what will happen? It's of no use. Even a good employee can't work in such, environment. So if you expect a good employee to work properly, you should first create a good working environment. right? So for that reason, here it is mentioned, avoid the slogan, eliminate the slogan, because it's of no use, right? You should first focus on improving the organization, process, procedure, and system. Then, later on, you can expect the employee to improve themselves, because it is not the employee's fault. It is actually the organization faults. All right. Okay. Next. Achha, this point is also very interesting. Eliminate by objective. What is it, ma'am? Eliminate by objective. What is it, ma'am? So eliminate by objective means what? So generally what happened, numerical quota. If you will see what is mentioned here, prescribed with numerical quota. So generally what happened when employee comes to you, so what will happen? You will say, employee, okay, so tomorrow is the last date for filing the return. These are the 50 files. You have to complete these 50 files by end of the day, right? So on this date, this is the last date of filing TDS return. So you have to complete these 115 file on today by the end of the day. What will happen? Actually, this is what you are giving numerical quota to the employee. You are giving target to the employee to finish by the end of the day. Now, in this case, what will happen? It will create pressure, unnecessary pressure on employee. Oh, I have to finish these files. Oh, I have to finish. From the morning, he's sitting on working, and instead of focus on work, he's just focusing on, oh, I have to finish 115 file today. Oh, what if I'll not finish these files? What will happen if I'll not finish these work? Oh, my boss will scold me, right? He may stop my appraisal. So the point is that this is not good. Actually, you can see it is also creating a fear in the employee. It will create some barriers, right? It is not actually a quality of a leader. It's a quality of a boss. So actually, a leader allow the freedom to the employee to work, right? So just give them a task that, okay, we have this task and we will complete it, right? And this give a sense of responsibility to the employee. When you are not imposing the employee with the work, so employee will itself take the task, right? And it give a sense of responsibility on them, and whatever he will do the best. He will do that work in the best way, right? Because it is not creating any pressure in his mind, right? So he will produce the good services, or he will produce the good product, or he will provide the best services, because there is no pressure in his mind, right? He's free to do the work, right? So this is the best way, right? The organization should work. All right. So don't give him target, right? Allow them to work freely. Abhi, this question may comes in your mind, ma'am, aisa to we have never observed anywhere. Ma'am, we are working in a CA firm, and our CA boss, he always give us this numerical quota every day. He always give us bunch of files, and he says ki do it by end of the day. No matter we have our CA exam or what, doesn't matter. We have to complete the work. So the point is that if you will see, this all started with Toyota company. This was all started with W. Edward Deming philosophy. This philosophy was given by W. Edward Deming. And all the companies in Japan, they start adopting these philosophies. Okay? Practically, it is not looking good. Practically, you will say, acha, if we will give freedom to the employee will not at all work. We will think in this way. If we provide freedom to the employee, they will not even work. They will sleep, right? They will come in office and they will do aram, right? They will not work. Point is that this is our opinion. You will see, if you will read the entire W. Edward Deming philosophy, you will find, oh, it's so amazing. Actually, it does amazing transformation in Japan, right? And, after adopting these philosophy, all Japanese company, all tech companies or automobile company, they actually start creating threat for American company, right? So if you will see, Six Sigma was introduced as a reactive approach to all these Japanese revolution. So actually, this actually works. मतलब हमें लगता है that this will not work, but it actually works, right? Okay, so allow the employee to work freely. Ma'am, can you give us some example of any organization which allow the employee to work freely? No work pressure? Yes, dear. There are many examples of the company, those who do not give work pressure to the employee. And one of the company is Google, right? If you know, they have excellent work culture. Just find it on internet, find it, Google it, and you will see they have amazing work culture. Right. So yes, if you will see the big successful organization in the world, they really have very good working culture. Okay, next. Now, what is the next point? The next point is about remove the barrier to pride of workmanship. So workmanship here means the employee, right? So here what we are trying to do, we are trying to reduce the work satisfaction. Now see, we have learned two type of customer are important: internal customer and external customer. Internal customer are employee, so we should keep our employees satisfied always, and the external customer matlab buyer to whom you are selling the final good. So the organization should always focus on these two customers. Matlab, they should always focus on employee, they should always focus on customer, and the organization should always keep them happy, keep the employee happy always, right? Keep the customer happy always, right? Don't force them, don't unnecessary, don't force them with work. Now here what is happening, we will make such philosophy for the employees that increases their work satisfaction. When they are working, they are really happy with their work. So what will happen? So there is need to remove any politics in the company. You must have heard that this company have so much politics. I don't like the environment, so toxic environment this company have. These bosses have so toxic environment, right? So the point is that don't create such environment for the employee. Sorry. So do not create such environment for the employee where the environment is very toxic. Don't create such environment, right? So the point is that, so if you will see a violation of annual merit rating or appraisal of performance and management by objective. So first we have learned, do not give them target, do not give them quota, ki you have to complete these number of file by the end of the day. Don't give them task in this way. Second is a violation of all merit rating, है ना? So some company, they rate their employee. Oh, this is the best employee, this is the second best employee, this is the third best employee. So see, I am also working in organization. I know, like in my organization, we all work together, okay? And we respect each other as a team member. We respect a lot each other. Okay, now what will happen in case we do not have any merit system in the organization, but for example, in any company, a company have the merit system. They rank their employee. Meena is the number one employee, right? This person is the second best employee. This one is the third best employee. What will happen? This will actually create competition amongst the employee. Right? They start instead of working as a team together, understanding each other's problem and, helping each other in the company. Because in this way, the organization works, right? We understand each other's problem and we help each other's, right? In this way, we work together as a team. But where you will start ranking them, that Meena is the best employee, then this person is the best, then Anagha is the best, right? So in this way, when you start creating ranking of the employee, what will happen? Every employee wants to become number one. They start competing with each other. Maybe in such way they will not work as a team and they will start pulling leg of each other. They will start doing the politics in the company. Maybe the environment will become toxic. Instead of creating a good working environment, you have created a toxic environment where it is not easy for the workers to work together. And maybe after some time, some of the worker wants to leave the organization. So I hope you can understand how important it is to create a team in the organization. So joy of work is required, right? If the employees are working in the company, they should enjoy their work, right? They should enjoy each other's company as a team, and they should enjoy their work when they're working together. So this is how the things happen. Take care, remove the barriers to the pride of all the employees, right? So you can see it's like a win-win situation for all the employees. Next is what? Institute education. So next point is institute education for the employees, self-improvement, right? So if you will see in some company, if you all are, obviously you all are CA final student, right? So if you will see, if you know someone who is working in Big Four company, so these company, they actually sponsor the education of their employee, right? So what I know, like if someone is working in Big Four, these Big Four, they obviously in most of the Big Four, chartered accountants are working, but since these Big Four are working globally, internationally, they need their employee to understand the international law, international subjects, right? So what I have seen that they sponsor the CPA and other courses to their CA employees, right? Now what is happening? Actually, they sponsor their education. Chalo jao, do MBA from IIM, do this course from this place, right? So the point is that they are working on improving the employees' skills. They are working on improving the employees, right? And they are actually focusing on increasing their skills and educations, right? So this is good for the organization. If the employees are improving, they're learning, right? Obviously, they will implement their knowledge in the company. Right? If I'm learning, I'm a chartered accountant, I'm CP, I'm ACCM, so I've gained so many qualifications. If I'm that much, if I have that much knowledge, I definitely, when I'll work for the organization, I will implement all my knowledge when I'm working, right? On my work, I will implement my knowledge. It is good for the company now if the employees are improving them. Right? Okay, next is what? Transformation is everyone's responsibility. So actually we need to transform the entire company, right? We need to improve the entire organization. But when you want to improve the entire organization, it is not the responsibility of one person, right? So here you can see everyone's effort is required, right? Everyone's effort is required. So transformation means improving the organization, for improving the organization so that the organization will produce the quality product always, right? So for that, we will keep the responsibility on every employee, no matter where he is working, on what level he is working. It is the responsibility of every employee to work properly. Right? So transformation is everyone's responsibility. Now, if you will see, we have these points, right? We have these 14 principles, and I believe that you will find them amazing. Right? These are amazing W. Edward Deming principles, right? They're amazing. If you have doubt, please write your doubt in comments, right? I'll reply them. If you have any doubt here, please write in comment. Okay. Now, the next point is what? PDCA cycle. Okay. So just in front of you, I have taken a PDCA cycle. Now, the question here comes, what is this PDCA cycle? What is it? So the question comes here, what is PDCA cycle? Okay. So this PDCA cycle was first developed by W. Edward Deming. The cycle was developed by W. Edward Deming, you can see. If you will see this image, what is written here in this image, this is a never-ending task, right? You will see this image, and in this image, what is written? Never-ending task, right? So what we expect the company should always improve themselves, right? So you can see we always expect the company to improve them, right? So that they can produce the quality product always, right? So don't say that you have a perfect organization, right? I mean, you should always, no matter how better or good the company is, you should always try to find out the weakness or the flaws in the company, and you should always work continuously on improving those weaknesses, right? Now, if you will see here, what is it? PDCA cycle was developed by W. Edward Deming, and what is it? Plan, do, check, act cycle. PDCA means plan, then do it, then check it, and then take the action on it, and keep on doing this. This is never-ending process, right? So plan for improving the organization. Doesn't matter how small improvement you want to implement in the company, right? Plan it, implement it, check it whether it is working properly, right? Act it, and then again plan some other improvement, and this keep on doing it, and it's a never-ending process, right? So this is W. Edward Deming principle. And if you will see, this principle is used by Toyota company, and they have developed Kaizen. So if you will see, Kaizen was actually developed in Toyota company. Tahishi Ahono was the mechanical engineer who developed this Kaizen, right? And what is the Kaizen? It's a Japanese word which means continuous improvement. Kai means continuous, Zen means improvement. And you can see this Kaizen is actually based on PDCA cycle. So Tahishi Ahono in Toyota company, he adopted the principle of W. Edward Deming. W. Edward Deming gave this principle of continuous improvement. He adopted it from there, and he used that principle or philosophy in Kaizen costing. Right? So he used the same thing in Kaizen costing. We will learn this later on also. But point is that here I just want to mention that this was developed by W. Edward Deming, right? Okay. So we have just learned this, that PDCA, plan, do, check, act cycle is actually a never-ending process. This is also known as Deming wheel. Since it was given by W. Edward Deming, it is also known as Deming wheel. All right. What are the steps? Establish the objective and develop the action plan, then take the corrective actions, then implement the process plan, right? And then measure the effectiveness of new process. So in this way, they keep on finding the flaws in the company. Then they make the plan that how we can improve it. Then they will take the corrective action that how we can improve it. Then they will implement the corrective actions, right? Then they will see that whether it is working properly or not, then they will find some other flaw, right? So in this way, they will keep finding the flaws in the company's process everywhere, process, system, procedure. They keep on finding the flaws and they keep on improving them. And they're saying, I'm not perfect. There is always scope of improvement. Doesn't matter how good your organization is. So in this way, they're actually working in this way, right? Okay, next. Okay, so I have a question on total quality management, but before that question, let me finish all these points first. Then we will go back to that question. All right. Okay, so if you will see here, what do we have here? In this image, if you will see, on one side, we have total quality management, and on other side, we have Six Sigma. Okay. So we have just discussed this, that Six Sigma was actually given by, which company? So Motorola company gave the Six Sigma for the first time. This was first given by the Motorola company. Then after Motorola company, other companies they start adopting Six Sigma, but Six Sigma was first introduced by Motorola company. And when did this happen? So we will learn this in entire chapter 3, that lean system was introduced here. Lean system, right, was introduced in Japan after adopting the philosophies of all W. Edward Deming, whatever the philosophies W. Edward Deming have given, right? Adopting their philosophy, lean system was developed, right? And they have developed such a, good procedure in the organization, such a good procedure. You will learn it. Abhi to you will not understand, right? When you will understand the entire chapter 3, uske baad you will understand how good business strategies these Japanese have developed, right? And now the entire world is copying them, right? It was all started with Japan, and quality revolution happened. This quality revolution all start from Japan, right? After adopting W. Edward Deming philosophies. Now, if you will see here what is happening, just because of all this, quality revolution started here. Quality revolution started in Japan. And now these Japanese companies, all Japanese companies, they start becoming threat for whom? These Japanese companies, they start becoming threat for entire world, right? And, even for US company, all USA company, it start becoming threat for them. See, a company's economy grows when the companies have good companies, country have the good companies. When the industry will grow, then only the economy of the country will grow. So after Second World War, Japanese adopted such philosophy, because of which the industry revolution started, quality revolution started in Japan, and the economy of Japan, it started growing, right? And it became the third largest economy of the world, right? But US, they find it as a threat. Oh, what is it happening? I mean, how Japanese start becoming, the largest economy of the world, and, how their economy is, growing so much, drastically improving the economy. Why? It start becoming threat. An amazing strategy, because they were producing zero defect, no defect at all, which is not at all actually possible. Practically, if you will think how is it possible? Even when I cook something, if you will see a mother or your mother, when you cook something, there will be some flaw. When I am working something, I'm making a file, I'm making a presentation, I'll do some flaws, right? I will have some mistake. When you as a student will study, you will find some flaws in your studies, right? Some defect, some mistake in your studies. When you will give your exam, you will have mistake. For that reason, you will not score 100 marks, right? So the point is that whenever we are working, we have some flaws, we have some defects, we have some mistakes. How is it possible that you are doing something and there is no defect? How is it possible? Such a beautiful strategy. You must have to learn for your exam also. How is it possible? Without any error, mistake, defect, 100% correct product. How is it possible? So for that reason, these companies, they start becoming threat for US company. And in order to respond their business strategies, these US company like Motorola, they first gave the Six Sigma. Six Sigma was introduced, right? You will understand these points more in detail when you will study chapter 3. I don't know how much you have learned right now, but you will understand it more in detail in chapter 3. Now, if you will see, total quality management is actually working on the improvement, right? Improving the process of the organization. We have learned, right, that actually quality management, you will learn the lean system and everything which you will learn from chapter 1, 2, 3. It is all focusing on improving entire process of the company. Focusing on improving entire activity of the company, focusing on improving the entire organization, right? So actually, total quality management is focused on improving the organization process, right? While if you will see the Six Sigma, actually it was just a response. Abhi, if someone will attack you, you will definitely respond. Someone will slap you, you will respond. In any way, maybe you will slap again or you will run away or whatever. But yes, if someone will slap you, you will respond. Point is that when this happened, right, this quality revolution start started in Japan, US company, they start responding, and the first response was Six Sigma. But Six Sigma was focused on reducing the defects. Okay? So quality management, total quality management in Japan was focused on what? Improving the organization, right? PDCA cycle, it was focused on improving the organization. But Six Sigma was focused on reducing the defect in the organization. I hope it is clear. Right? This is clear to all. Okay, next point. So total quality management was emphasized on quality assurance, right? It focus on customer, it focus on employee, right? We have learned that they were actually focusing on improving the customer, right? They were actually focusing on improving the customer. They were actually focusing on improving the employee of the company, right? We have learned, right? If the employee will be happy, right? If employee will be happy, he will produce the good product, right? Or good services. He will produce the good quality product and the good services that will reach to the customer, right? So this is how the things happen here. Okay, so obviously, since you are producing high quality product, so what will happen? It will increase the customer retention, right? Customer will very happy with your product, and he will refer other people also your product and your services. He will say, see, this company produce very good product, use it. I have used it. So in this way, what will happen? Nasir customer will use your product, but he will also refer your product to some other customers, right? And you know, one happy customer brings more customer. One dissatisfied customer will take your 10 customer. So the point is that we should always focus on the happiness of the customer. So if you want to keep your customer happy, you should keep the employee happy, right? If the employee will be happy, then only the customer will be happy, right? And you will retain the customer. Okay? And if the customer, if you manage to retain the customer, then what will happen? It will increase the sale of the company. The sale of the company will improve, right? And what will happen? You will manage to create a brand, right? You manage to create the brand. Okay. Now the next concept is related to business excellence model, right? Okay. This is a new topic for us. What is it? Business excellence model. If you will see, this is what it's a philosophy, right? What type of philosophy it is? It's a philosophy that will help to create the value in the company and to ensure that the company is providing the best quality product to the customer. The customer is giving the best services. The company is giving best services to the customer. Customer is getting best services from the company, right? So business excellence model, we are learning about the business excellence model, right? So if you will see here, we have many other business excellence model. Okay? If you will see here, right, you can see the name of different business excellence model. These are different business excellence model. These are all different business excellence model. All right, give me 1 minute. Okay, so you can see here different business excellence model. I don't know whether you have heard about it or not. Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. Business excellence model means those company who are excellence, who are gaining excellence in providing the best services and best quality product to their customer, they will get this award, right? Actually, this award is from Europe country, right? It is actually from Europe, right? In Europe, they give this business excellence award to the company, those who performing very well, those who are very good, right? They give them this award. ठीक है. Now, if you will see, similar award is given by different other countries also. Like Japan gives quality award model. Like Australia also gives business excellence framework awards to the best company. In USA, they give Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award, right? They give the best companies Malcolm Baldrige Award, right? So you can see different country gives the awards to the best performing organization. Why? Because see, the country's economy will grow if the business will grow, right? So actually, they, in order to boost them, confidence and all, they give such excellence award to them. Now let's try to understand about EFQM, business excellence model. See, this excellence model was developed in Europe. Remember, it was developed in Europe and they give this model to the best performing organization. Let's try to understand this model. So if you will see in this model, what do we have here? We have 3 points. We will learn about these 3 points. These are the 3 points, right? 1, 2, 3, right? What are we going to learn? We are going to learn about the fundamental concepts of excellence. We are going to learn about the criteria conceptual framework. Then we will learn about the radar logics, right? We will learn about these approaches. All right. Okay. So if you will see just in front of you, I have taken an image. This image is actually an image for EFQM business excellence model. On one side, you can see the enablers, and on other side, you can see the results. Enabler means what action we have to take. Okay? So what action you will take to achieve the results, right? What action you will take to achieve the result, right, is given here. Okay? Just try to see these actions. Okay? So that means the company need good leadership. We have discussed this in total quality management. We need leader. We don't want boss. We need leader. We do not want boss in the organization. So this is the first thing we will consider as an enabler to achieve the result, right? If you want to achieve the result of what type, that we want good customer services, good society result, employees should be happy in the company, good business result, right? Maybe sale, maybe quality product, maybe brand image, right? That will be business result. In order to achieve the brand, let me write all of them, brand image, right? I want to increase the sale of the company, right? I want to increase the goodwill of the company, right? Profitability of the company. So you can see some of the objective is quantitative, qualitative, both of the objective we have considered here. Okay? So these are what business result which we want to achieve. These are the business results which we want to achieve. Employee result means employee satisfaction. Right? Employee result means employee satisfaction. That means the employee should always be happy with the customer, right? Customer result means customer satisfaction. So customer is always satisfied with the product which you are supplying or the services you are supplying. Customer is always happy with that. Then society result means the entire society or general public, just a corporate social responsibility we call it. Okay? So the general public is happy with your organization. So you can see corporate social, for that we adopt the corporate social responsibility. General publics are happy with your organization. So actually these are the results which we want to achieve. Customer should always be happy. We have retained the customer and customer is happy with us. Employee is happy, and so for that reason he is providing good services to the customer, and for that reason the customer is happy, right? And then what do we have here? General public, because my organization is so good, right? It has such a good brand image, goodwill. I'm not harming the nature, right? Not at all harming the nature and environment, because of which the entire public is happy, right? So in this way, the result, this is the result which we want to achieve. Okay. We will see that out of all the organization, which of the company have achieved these results. right? Now, for achieving these results, we need to take some action. What type of action is required? So first, we need leadership. We do not want bosses in the company. We need leader in the company. Teamwork is required. Dictatorship is not required here. All right. So we need what? Employees involvement. We have learned about employees, right? We need that employees should be involved everywhere. Everyone's responsibility. Improvement is everyone's responsibility. Only managing director can't improve the organization. It is the responsibility of each and everyone, those who are working in the organization, to improve the organization. Right? Next, we need to implement good business strategies. Like we have learned, focus on removing the non-value-added activity, focus on value-added activities, right? So we need to develop strategies for the company. Then partnership and resources. We need to build good partnership. We will see what is it. And we need to focus on, optimum, the best use of the resources. And we need to focus on the process, product, and services. When we focus on all these things, we will achieve these results. This is your EFQM, business excellence model. This is our EFQM, business excellence model. All right, this is just an overview. I have just given you an overview of all these things, right? All right. So similar to EFQM model that was given in Europe, you can see more than 30,000 companies in Europe have adopted EFQM model. Okay. But similar model we have here in USA, right? You can see this is actually USA model, which is known as Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. It is not in the syllabus. Just for your information, I have taken it, right? So similar model, you can see the leadership here, focus on the customer, focus on the market, make the strategic planning, right? We need HR, human resources. We should focus on employee satisfaction, improve the process of the organization. Then you will get the business result. You can see similar model. Okay. So Malcolm Baldrige have the similar model here, right? They have the similar model here. Okay. Now let's learn it in detail. Let's learn it in detail, right? So we have just discussed that here we have to learn these 3 points. The first point is what? The fundamental concepts of the first is what? The fundamental concepts of excellence. This is the first point. Let's try to understand it. Now see here, for the business excellence model, EFQM business excellence model, we have to consider these points, right? So the first point is what? Adding value to the customer. We have learned, if you will see, we have seen value chain. In first chapter, we have discussed about value chain analysis. So if you remember, in value chain analysis, we have discussed about the value added activity, and we have discussed about the non-value added activity, right? We will focus here on value added activity, and we will focus here to remove them from the organization, non-value-added activity. So first point is what? Creating or adding value for the customer. Give something to the customer for which the customer is happily willing to pay you the money. You are providing or you are giving something to the customer for which the customer is happily giving you the money. Okay? That is value for the customer. Focus on creating value for the customer. Right? Next, creating a sustainable future, right? So whatever the future you are designing for the company should sustain it. It's not like that whatever you are designing is for just for some time period. No, whatever you have designed, the company should sustain it for a long time period. right? Next is developing organization capability. So if you remember in core competence, we have learned about the resource and we have learned about the capability. Now resource means what? The organization have unique tangible or intangible resources. Like we have learned about the Coca-Cola company have the syrup, Maggi company have the masala, which is a trade secret. So company have such resources which is unique. Domino's, 30-minute nahi to free. The speed of delivery is so fast. So the point is that company have such a unique resource, right? Because of which the company is providing core, because of which the company have the core competence. Capability means ability to do something. So like if you will see Domino's company, they have ability to give the superior service, right? So if you order the pizza through application, you will get it within 15 minutes. Okay. That is what ability of the company to deliver you something. All right. Is the capability of the company. Right. Okay. So the next point here is your harnessing creativity and innovation. So the organization should always try to provide innovative product, right? So innovative ka matlab, like you can take an example right now, artificial intelligence is an innovative product. I've shown you the artificial intelligence in last class. Okay, let me show you. We have discussed about the artificial intelligence. I think I've shown you, but okay, let me show you again. Chat GPT. And we have many other tools. We just do not have the Chat GPT, but we have many other tools. Let me show you how it works. Let me show you how Chat GPT works. This is an amazing artificial intelligence software, right? Amazing artificial intelligence software. You will get copyright free content from here. Okay, let me write something. Write a poetry for me. Okay. See, this will be copyright actually. Write a poetry for me in Hindi. Happy moment. See, this is what artificial intelligence. You can imagine that how artificial intelligence is, right? Now the point is that what is happening here? It's an innovative product right now in the market, and every organization is trying to explore it, right? You can see that these days the organization is actually developing robotic chef using the artificial intelligence, right? So which can replace the chef in 5-star hotel, right? Let me show you. Robotic chef replacing 5 stars or 7-star chef. So you can see so many, I have seen actually, because I have seen such as robots, right? Kitchen robots. See, this is a kitchen robot. They're cooking food for you. You don't need a human to cook food for you. So what is it? It's an innovative product. You can see how they're cooking the foods without involvement of human. Amazing, right? And they will cook you the best food. Amazing. This is what innovative product. You can see this is a kitchen where robots are working and they're cooking the foods, and they will cook food for you even better than a chef in 5-star hotel. This is how artificial intelligence is working. And the point is that I'm just trying to give you an example of innovative product, right? This is the most innovative product right now in the market. Right? You can see this. So this is the most innovative product in the market. I'm so sorry. This is the most innovative product in the market. All right. So we are working on what creativity. It's a creativity, right? They're using the artificial intelligence in automobile company. They're using the artificial intelligence in the production. They're using the artificial intelligence in cooking, right? They're actually these days, they are replacing the creativity. They're replacing the copyright work also, right? Because it can generate the copyright free written work, right? Amazing. So the point is that it is a creative, it is what an innovative product, right? So the point is that the organization should always focus on introducing creative and innovative product in the market. See, only if you are producing creative and innovative product, then you can gain competitive advantage in the market. Okay, so here they are considering this also for the excellence model, right? The next one is what? Leading the vision, inspiration, and integrity. So what is this point? That the organization should always have a vision, what the company wants to achieve in future, right? Inspiration and integrity is important for the company. Next is managing the agility. Agility means the company should always maintain the speed. Now, what is it? Maintain the speed, matlab, if you have a strategy, if you have designed some strategy, if you have some idea, right, and you want to implement in the company, do not wait for something. Implement them immediately. Because if you fail to implement them immediately with high speed, what will happen? Other competitor may develop the same idea. And if you fail to implement quickly, your competitor will implement it and he will gain the competitive advantage. First mover advantage, right? First person who has adopted it. So just do it immediately. Whatever the strategy you have, whatever the innovative idea you have, just implement it immediately, right? So we should always maintain the agility or the speed when we have idea or when we have the strategy, implement them immediately. Next, succeeding through the talent of people. Ab dekho, we have learned this earlier also, that we want to work on not just the customer satisfaction. Oh, customer satisfaction is the most priority for the company, right? Customer happiness or customer satisfaction, right? This is important for the company, that whatever the product we are producing and whatever the services we are providing, the customer should always be happy with those products and services. Right? But the point is that if you want to keep the customer happy, is not enough. It is possible if the employees are happy in the company. So for example, I am a trainer. Okay, I'm a trainer and I provide training to the people, to the corporate, right? So the point is that if I, as an employee, will be happy, then obviously I can make this client happy, right? I can make the people, those who are coming to train themselves, I can make them happy. They are the customer for the company. So the point is that only employee can make the customer happy, right? And think about it. If the employee will be unhappy, what will happen? Obviously, he will complain to the customer and customer will also be unhappy. So we have to create that happy environment, right? First, focus on the employee, because it all starts from within, right? All changes started within, right? So first, focus on improving your own employee, keep them happy always, provide them good working culture, give them good salary, good appraisal, keep them happy, right? If the employee will be happy, then only he will keep the customer happy. All right. So you can see here, succeeding through talented person. Your organization need good employee. The employee should be happy. The employee should be skillful and talented, right? You must hire the skillful employee, and they must be talented, right? They must be happy so that they can keep the customer happy, right? All right. Then next is what? Sustaining outstanding result. So it's not enough that you have achieved the result for the first time. We have learned now that we will, in this model also, we have learned about the results, right? You can see we have these results, right? Society result, customer result, people result. These are the results which business results. So these are the results which we want to achieve. But what is written here? Just achievement of the result is not enough. You have achieved the result, well and good, but this is not enough, right? We should sustain the result. Whatever the result we have achieved, we should sustain it. This is also important. All right. Okay. So these are what? The concepts of excellence, how you can achieve the excellence, right? How a company can achieve business excellence, keeping the customer happy, keeping the employee happy, keep the skilled employee and talented employee in the company, right? Keep the speed, agility should be maintained. Whatever the idea you have, whatever the strategy you have, implement them immediately, create the value for the customer, right? Remove all the non-value-added activity, focus on value-added activity so that we can provide the value-added activities to the customer, right? We can create the value for the customer. You can see it's also, I mean, by the way, it is all repetitive, right? What I believe, I'm keep repeating the same thing, right? But you can see how important it is that they are emphasizing so much on the same thing. Keep them happy, keep employee happy, keep customer happy. Does it really happen in Indian company? Does it really happen around you? You are working all in CA firm. Does it really happen around you? Right? So we need to understand it, because see, just because of adopting these philosophy, a company can become #1 organization. And we don't believe on such philosophies, right? So actually we need to understand all these things. Okay, so this was the first thing, right? Next is what? Enabler and results. So here we have the 4 enabler, and we have, here we have 5 enabler and 4 result, right? Give me 1 minute. We have here 5 enabler and 4 result. We have discussed this, but let's discuss it again. If you will see this image, right? In this image, you will see what are these enabler here. So leadership is 1 enabler. People, employee is 1 enabler. Strategy of the company, business strategy, and the partnership and resources. These are the enabler. Enabler your action, or what will you do, right? What will you do for the organization? What are the action? What are the plan for the company? When you will take the action on it, what will happen? These are the enabler. When you will take action on it, right, what will happen? You will achieve the results. You will achieve the result. What type of result? People result, customer result, society result, business result, right? You will achieve these results. Now let's try to understand it. Right. So first we have leadership here as an enabler. We have learned we need a leader in the company. We do not need bosses in the company. We don't want bosses. We don't want bosses in the company. We always want leader in the company. All right. Okay. Next is people. How important people are to your organization, right? And some of the way you can improve it. Now see, we have learned that in the organization can have employees and customer, internal and external customer. We have learned about it. Internal and external customer, right? So employees are known as internal customer, and employees and buyer or the final customer, are the external customer. So in this way, the company can have both the customers, employee and buyers. So what we have to do, we have to keep them happy, right? They are important for the company. And employee is important for the company. Customer is important for the company. And we have to keep them happy. Simple. See, they are repeating the same thing, I know. Okay. Next is what? Partnership resources. So how you are improving the relationship with the partners. Who are the partner for the company? Okay, let's discuss this. So for example, you have a company and the company buy the raw material from the supplier. And company sell the final good to the customer, right? So the company can have partnership with all the supplier. It is possible they have the partnership with the customer supplier, right? Or they can have the partnership with the customer also, right? Right? They can have partnership here. Right. So the person who is supplying the raw material, you have done partnership with them, or the person who is buying the raw material, buying the final good from you as a customer or a buyer, you have done partnership on them. So here they are saying that you have to improve the relationship with both. So the point is that if you will see here, actually it is focusing on improving the relationship all, right? Improve the relationship with the supplier, improve the relationship with the customer, even improve the relationship with the employee in the organization. So actually it is focusing on all these relationships here, right? And use the resources of the company in best possible way. Okay? So in best possible way, use the resource of the company. So this is what they are focusing here, right? Okay. Shall we take a break here? Shall we take a break? Yes. After this, we will achieve the results. After this, we will achieve the results. Okay, give me 1 minute. So if you will see, when we have these enabler, good leadership, and you're focusing on employees are all happy with the organization, customer are all happy with the organization, good business strategies, and then you have maintained good relationship with the supplier, you have maintained the good relationship with the customer, right? You have used the resources in best possible way, then process product services, and you are providing the best product to the customer and the best services to the customer, right? So in this way, these are what action you are taking. Okay, these are the action plan which we are taking here. Okay, so that we can achieve the results, right? So that what we can achieve the results, what type of result? Customer results. So first one is what? Customer results. Now what is it? Customer is happy. He's satisfied. You have retained the customer. So in this way, customer is happy with the organization, and for that reason, the sale of the company will increase and the profit of the company will increase. So with the help of enabler, you have achieved the result. Next is people result, right? People result means all the people like employee, supplier of the company, all the person, those who are associated with the company in any way, they are all happy with the company, right? So if they will happy, if you have a good relationship with everyone, these people will help your organization to grow. So yes, so people result in the organization. Next is society result. Society means you have fulfilled the corporate social responsibility, because of which the general public is happy with your organization. And then business result. Business result means whatever your business desire, you have achieved it here, right? Whatever the goal you want to achieve through business, you have achieved it here. So you have achieved all these results by enablers, right? So with the help of the enabler, you have achieved all these results, right? Okay. The last one, then we can take a break. Let's finish it completely. Then we can take a break from here. So the next point is what? The next point is on radar logics. Okay. So radar logic means, if you will see here, what do we have here? We have radar means R, A, D, A, R, right? These are the point. What is the full form of these point? So radar means required result. Right? Then plan and develop the approach. Then deploy it. Then what will happen? Assesses. And then repeat it, required, right? Required result. So what will happen here? Radar logic, assessment framework. So in this way, what will happen? We will see what result we want to achieve. We have these 5 results, right? How many results we have? 4 results. So we have these 4 results. We want to achieve these 4 results. Okay. So first in radar, you will see what are the required result you want to achieve. Though here we have studied that the company have the 4 results. You will first see what type of results you want to achieve, right? Accordingly, like you want to achieve the customer satisfaction. You want to gain the customer retention. Okay, so accordingly, you will develop the plan in the company, right? You will develop a plan in the company. You will develop such an approach so that you can develop a plan for the company. Then what will happen? You will implement that plan in the company. You will deploy that plan in the company. Then what will happen? You will assess, you will check, okay, whatever the plan I have implemented, is it working properly or not? You will check it, you will see what is the result, whatever the plan I have implemented in the company, whether it has achieved the result or not, right? Then we will repeat it again, and it keep on happening again and again, again and again, again and again, right? This is what radar logic, right? Assessment framework. So if you will see, these 3 points are actually part of the same EFQM excellence model, right? EFQM excellence model, these are the 3 points here. So the first point we have learned about EFQM model was fundamental concepts of excellence. We have learned this, right? After this, we have learned about this model, right? EFQM model, business excellence model. After that, we have learned about the radar logics or assessment framework, right? We have learned all these points. And at the end, what is, see, it is given here that EFQM model in Europe, it was adopted by 30 organizations across Europe, right? Okay. And this will help in what? See, strong and empathetic leader, good leader in the organization, effective communication, team building, everyone is connected with each other, employee empowerment, employees are happy with the organization, right? Employee motivations, all right, innovative product in the company, good culture in the company, right? And then robust culture arises as a result. A very robust culture will arise as a result. Okay, so let's take a break. I will take a break of 10 minutes. Then we will come back and we will continue the next very important topic, which is theory of constraint, right? Let's take a break. हाँ ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं। So hi, welcome back. So let's start the new topic. The name of the new topic is theory of constraints. So this is a very important topic. If you will see theory of constraint, right? Now the question comes here, what is theory of constraint, ma'am? So if you will see, this theory of constraint was first introduced by M. Goldratt and Jeff Cox, right? You can see this book was written by them and the theory of constraint was introduced by them, these two authors, right? They have done the research and they have developed this theory of constraint, right? All right. Now the point is that what is it, ma'am? What is this theory of constraint? Now, if you will see here, they are focusing that constraint means somewhere you have some limitation, right? Maybe your resources are limited there. Constraint, right? So what will happen here? We will try to identify the places where we have the limited resources. Because, for example, if the company is producing the goods, it's not necessary that you have enough resources everywhere. So I have taken an image just to explain you guys, right? So if you will see here in this image, the organization have two type of structure, right? So though second one we have not studied yet. This is what we will study this in chapter 3. This is lean system. We will see this is actually a very good, excellent way of producing the goods. We will study about it in chapter 3, right? So if you will see here, this is what the traditional system. And obviously we have some flaws here. We have some, flaws here. Because of that, we need a new lean system. There is some flaws here. Okay. So if you will observe, they have mentioned you the way they are producing the goods, system or a procedure, right? So you have input the raw material and to Mr. A, you have given the raw material. A has added some value in it and he removed the product. It's a work in progress right now. Then after this, what will happen? Mr. B will work on it, right? After Mr. B will work on it, you will get the output, work in progress. Then Mr. C will work on it. Then you will get your final product. Now see, so the product is actually passing through different activities. It is actually passing through A, then it will be passing through B, and it will be then passing through C. Now what is actually happening here? If in this entire process, there is anywhere we have limited resources. For example, Mr. C here, this person is not very efficient, This person is weak. He is not very efficient. All right. So what will happen if this person is slow? He's a new employee. He's inefficient. What will happen? Compared to the work done by A and B, his work will be slow. Yeah. Compared to the speed of A and B, the speed with which Mr. C is working is slow. Right? Now what will happen? Just because C is slow, the entire process of the company will slow down. The entire process of production will slow down just because the process of C is slow. Right. So this is what we are learning here about the theory of constraint, means place where we have limited resources and because of which the process is slow down. Right. The entire process is slow here because at this place, the labor is inefficient, right? So inefficiency can arise for any reason. Like here we have considered labor is inefficient. Here we have assumed that a labor is inefficient, right? He is inefficient. So inefficiency can arise for any reason. Either the labor is inefficient or your machine is not working properly. When the machine is not working properly, for example, anywhere in the system, instead of labor, the work is done by machine A, machine B, machine B. See, so for example, machine C is very slow. It is not working properly. What will happen? It will slow down the entire process if machine is not working properly. Similarly, it is possible that at some point of time, you do not have enough material. Your material is limited. Or any other resource is limited. Any other resource, somewhere during the production, some of the resource is limited. And just because at a particular point of time, resource is limited, which just because of that, the entire process of production will slow down. Right? So this is actually what happening. Just because of this point of time, the entire process of production will slow down. Right? This is bottleneck. Right? We will learn about it, about the bottleneck and non-bottleneck, right? So you can see I'm calling this activity of Mr. C as a bottleneck activity. Bottleneck means where you have limited resources. The place where the resources are limited. You do not have the enough resources, right? So here we have the limited resources, and for that reason, we are calling it as bottleneck. All right. The process is not very efficient. All right. Okay. So this is what we are learning here actually. Okay. So let's first try to understand the meaning of throughput, because here we are learning about the throughput accounting, theory of constraint. See, the name is what? Theory of constraint. Now in theory of constraint, we will learn about throughput of the plant. See, it is written here. What it is based on increasing what? Throughput of the plant. So the first question that will come in your mind is, what is throughput, ma'am? What is throughput? So throughput is what? Is the amount, the product or services that passes through the production process during a period of time, right? Actually, throughput is also known as flow rate, right? Flow rate means with what rate your raw material is flowing for the production. Your raw material is passing through activity, right? First raw material, then it will pass through A, then B, then C, then D, then final product. So in this way, what is happening? Your product is passing through, right? This is what flow rate, how your product is flowing, right? If, for example, anywhere the process is slow, the flow of the raw material will slow down, right? Anywhere the process is slow for any reason, because of the resources limited, because the machine is slow, limited resources, labor is slow, he is inefficient, any reason, or material is not enough. So we are, throughput means we are studying about the rate of flow of raw material. We are studying about it. Okay. So we will find here, theory of constraint means in this flow rate, we will find the constraint. Now constraint means we will find the activity or the place where the resources are limited. We will find a place where the resources are limited. Now resources are limited ka matlab where maybe labor is inefficient, machine is inefficient, or material is not enough, or any other material is limited. But simple, where the resource is limited, we will call that place as a constraint. Constraint. It is creating constraint, limitations. It is creating limitation, right? So constraint means this, right? Which is creating actually a constraint for the flow of the, that will actually create the constraint on flow of your material, right? Just give me. Okay, so in this way, we will find the constraint here. All right. Okay. Now, if you will see here, what do we have? They have actually classified you the bottleneck and the non-bottleneck activity. Okay. Let me show you first the bottleneck again. Okay. Bottleneck, right? You can see bottleneck is actually defined in this way. Bottleneck. So you can see this place is actually creating constraint. Right? This place is actually creating what? Constraint, right? Okay. So the place where the resource is limited is creating constraints is bottleneck for the company. Let me show you one more place, then we will study about it. So here we have learned this employee, because he was inefficient. So because this employee was inefficient, it has created constraint. This has created constraint in the flow of the production. Flow of production is slowed down because of this person. Therefore, you can see here the work in progress is piled up. Why these work in progress is piled up here? Because C is very inefficient. He is very slow. Simple. All right. Okay. So bottleneck is very clear to all of you. Bottleneck means where the resources are limited. Right? So bottleneck means the place where we have the limited resources, the bottleneck. Now the question comes, ma'am, what is non-bottleneck? Non-bottleneck means where you have enough resources. The place where we have the enough resources is non-bottleneck of the company. Enough resources. So what we have to do, where the resources are limited, at that place you should use it in best possible way. Where you have limited resources, you have to use the resource in best possible way. 100% in best possible way, you should use the resources. Okay. But where you have enough resources, then it could be lenient, right? That's okay. We will not focus here. Enough resources. But jahan where we have less resource, we will focus on utilizing the resources in best possible way. Here we are focusing not to waste any resource. So that are our bottleneck activity, because actually you can see this place they are calling as bottleneck activity. Why? Because here actually only this activity is responsible to slow down the production process, to slow down production. Right? Only this point is responsible for this, production slowdown. The process of production is slowed down just because of this. All right, just because of this. So if you will see here, this is what non-bottle. This place is non-bottle. This is bottleneck. This is also non-bottleneck. Since at this place the resource is limited, right? At this place, the resource is limited. So what we will do, since at this place the resource is limited, we will try to use this place in best possible way. All right, okay. So how beautiful line is written here. See what is written here. An hour lost at bottleneck is an hour lost for the total system. If you waste your resources at bottleneck, what will happen? You're wasting the resource of entire organization, because bottleneck is a place where you have limited resources, right? And this bottleneck is actually deciding the flow of the production. It is just like in traffic jam, if you're stuck in red light somewhere, so that particular place is stopping the flow of the traffic. So the same way, bottleneck is actually responsible to the flow of entire process of production. If you waste your resources at bottleneck, you are actually wasting the entire production process. Right? You are actually wasting the entire production process. Okay, next. But what is mentioned here, if you save your resources in non-bottleneck activity, it is also of no use. Why? Because at non-bottleneck, you have enough resources. right? At non-bottleneck, resource are enough. So there is no use enough. So at this place, there is no use to save resource. It's of no use. When you are saving the resource at this place is of no use. You should save the resource in bottleneck places, right? You don't need to save the resources at non-bottleneck, because in non-bottleneck, you already have enough resources. So what is the need of saving the resources? Okay, so an hour saved in non-bottleneck is just a mirage. It's of no use. It will not give you any benefit, right? Then, acha, more points. Let me explain you some more point. So here it is mentioned, throughput is what? The rate at which the production you will do. You will see the rate at which you will do the production. Okay. So we have these points here. Now would we have Goldratt's 5-step method. Now what is it, ma'am? If you will see what is happening here, they are trying to identify the bottleneck. Okay. So for example, a company have a bottleneck activity, they will find it and they will remove it. What will happen? The question here is that what will happen if the company remove their bottleneck activity? What will happen if the company removes the bottleneck activity? Is it good for the company? Huh? So let's try to understand. So for example, this is A process. This is A process. This is B process. This is C process, D process, E process, F process, G process. A, C, E, G are non-bottleneck. Right? Now the point is that if you will observe this, which one is bottleneck? Can you tell me which activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G out of them, which one is bottleneck? Can you tell me? Write in comment. Answer me. Out of them, which one is bottleneck? Can you tell me? Can you write in comment which out of them, which one is bottleneck? Yes, please write in comment. Out of them, which one is bottleneck? Write in comment quickly. Yes. Which one is bottleneck out of them? So if you will see here, yes, D is bottleneck, right? You will see out of them, D is the place where we have the very limited resources. D is the place where we have the limited resources, right? So first step is what? Out of the entire process of the organization, these are entire process of the organization, identify the constraint, identify the place where the company have limited resources, identify it. Then second is what? Second, so we have identified that C at D we have limited resources. D is a place where we have limited resources. Now what is the second step? Decision to exploit the constraint. So okay, if this place have limited resources, for what reason? For example, machine is not good here. Machine is not good. If machine is not good, what will happen? Replace the machine then. Put a new machine here if the machine is not good. If the machine is old and because of old machine you are producing the goods through old machine, the process is slow down. Oh, machine is the reason. replace it by a new machine. Okay. Acha. So what happened? You have taken a decision to exploit the constraint. You have removed the machine and replaced the machine. Acha. Second reason can happen. What? Labor is not efficient, is inefficient. So when the labor is inefficient, what will happen? Labor is not efficient. Provide them training then. Train them. If the labor is not efficient, provide them training now. Train them. Okay. So if you will provide them training, what will happen? This will improve. Labor will improve. They will become skilled, right? And this resource, this will change here. This will change here. Or if you have limited resources, what will happen? Buy new resources, buy more resources then. So what will happen? We had a constraint. Now we are trying to find out the reason why do we have this constraint, and what will happen? We will try to improve them. So now what happens? Since we have improved the machine, replaced the machine, or we have provided the training, you can see this place is improved now. Earlier it was narrow bottleneck, and you replace the machine. If you will replace the machine, bottleneck will increase. It will remove, the bottleneck will improve. Or you provide the training to the employee, bottleneck will improve. So you are improving this place, right? You are doing something that will help to improve this place. Then what will happen? So what we have done here, decision to exploit the constraint, you have improved it, right? Then what will happen? Once you improve it, you know what will happen? In the same company, same process, entire procedure, a new bottleneck will arise. When you remove one bottleneck, a new bottleneck will arise. You can see, right? You will evaluate the process and constraint, right? You have implemented here new machine, replace the machine, or train the employee, right? So you have done these things, right? Then what will happen? You will evaluate, okay, the new machine is working properly or not, or you have trained the employee. So new trained employee is working properly or not. So you will check it that whether it is working properly. Now it become efficient or not. The bottleneck have changed or not. You will check it. But the problem is that, dear, once you remove one bottleneck from the company, a new bottleneck will arise. Right? So though we have removed this bottleneck, but now you can see a new bottleneck has arisen where a new bottleneck has arisen here, section F, right? At the place of F, this is now a new bottleneck, right? So for that reason, since the new bottleneck will arise, you have to repeat the task again. Now you will see why is this slow? Why the process is slow at C? Whatever be the reason, you will improve it. Then maybe you will improve this bottleneck. After this, you will improve this bottleneck, right? For example, we have removed this bottleneck. Right? What will happen? Once you remove this bottleneck, again a new bottleneck will arise. So now, you know, actually, if you will observe this, this is a never-ending process. Once you remove one bottleneck, other bottleneck will arise. Then you will improve that bottleneck. Then other bottleneck arise. This is a continuous improvement process, right? So for that reason, if you will see, it's like a cycle here. This is actually a never-ending process. It keep on happening again and again and again. Because once you remove one bottleneck, a new bottleneck will arise. Then again, you will remove that, a new bottleneck. Then some other new bottleneck will arise. Keep on happening. It keep on happening, right? And it's a never-ending process. Right? If you have doubt, please ask your doubt. If you have any doubt here. Is there any doubt? Yes. Is there any doubt? Yes. No doubt? Okay. So first we find, let's go through these points also. So first we identify the bottlenecks. Okay, the places where the resources are limited. First we identify those places. Then what will happen? We will exploit the bottleneck, right? So we will find the way we can improve the bottleneck, right? We will exploit the bottleneck. Then what will happen? Right? According to bottleneck, you will take the other decisions, right? Then what will happen? Replace the bottleneck, additional training to slow worker, change the design so that your process will become efficient. But after removing one bottleneck, a new bottleneck activity in the company will arise, and it's a never-ending process. For that reason, it's a cycle, right? So we have a cycle here. All right, okay. Now the next point is throughput accounting. All right, okay. So what is throughput accounting here? Okay, so throughput accounting means monitor the rate at which the business is making money, right? Is it making money fast or is it making money slow, right? We will see the rate at which the business is making money, right? Okay, so we have a throughput accounting ratio here. अब देखो simple सी बात है. If you have a constraint and you want to produce different product, okay, let me discuss this point also, then we will come back to here. So if in case if the company have limited resources anywhere, okay. So for example, a company have limited machine hour. Okay. Company had limited machine hour. Okay. So for example, company is producing different product A, B, C, D. Company is actually producing these different product, right? Okay. So a company is actually producing these different product. Then what is happening? For example, the demand for these product, I'm just giving you an example. For example, the demand for these product is this 1,000, 2,000, 1,500, and 4,500. These are the demand of these product units, right? This is the demand in the market, right? And raw material requirement. Right? Let's see how much raw material is, no, not raw material. Let's see how much, because here constraint is machine hour is required. Okay. So for example, here for the production of unit A, we need 1 hour. Here we need 0.5 hour. Here we need 1.5 hour. And here we need 0.75 hour, right? And for example, the selling price per unit is what? For product A, $100. Variable cost per unit is, for example, $75. Okay. And for product B, for example, the sale price is $80. And the variable cost here is $45. And here the sale price is $120 and the variable cost is the variable cost here is $80. Okay. And here the selling price per unit is $90 and the variable cost is 70. Right? My question, which product you will produce first? Out of them, you have the option to produce so many products, right? But the point is that see how many how much machine hour is actually required. Okay? Actual requirement. So you will see 1000 for the production of 1000 units, we need 1 hour. For the production of 2000 units, we need 0.5 hour, right? For the production of 1500 units, we need 1.5 hour. And for the production of 4500 units, we need. So this is what we want, right? Can you tell me what is it coming? If I solve it, what will it come here? 1000 hour. This is also 1000. Solve it and tell me what is it coming. I'm using the calculator. So 2250, and here it is 4500 into 0.75. So this is a 3375. Okay. Total, let me take the total sum of it. 3375 plus 2250 plus 2000. This is 7625. We need total 7625 hour. Okay. This is the time which is required here. My question is that what if the machine hour is limited and you have only 5000 hour? Machine hour is limited, constraint, right? We are studying about the constraints. If the resources are limited in the company, what will you do? All right, we're learning about it. So here the company have limited resources. What will you do now? Only 5000 machine hour is available here, and you have to produce only 5000 machine hour is available here, and you have to produce these 4 products A, B, C, D. Question is that which product you will produce first out of them? Which product? How will you make the decision? Yes, tell me, how will you make the decision that out of them which product you want to produce first? How will you make this decision that which production should be done first? Yes, please write in comment. How will you take this decision that which product the company will produce first? Give me. So which product do you want to produce first? Write and comment quickly. Yes. Is it possible that there is no bottleneck in the company? Janvi is asking. No, never. Organization must have somewhere in the entire process or activities, somewhere the organization must have the limited resources. It is never possible that bottleneck do not exist in the company. Somewhere some process is slow, right? And see, it is possible to remove them completely, but not in traditional system. If you will learn lean system, we will discuss this in chapter 3 in lean system. You will learn it, that how smartly we are removing all, how smartly we are producing the goods that we don't need. Okay, I'm so sorry. So yes, it is correct that we have to consider we want to, so here we want to increase the entire profitability of the organization, right? So you people have messaged me that, ma'am, acha, theek hai, I'm so sorry for that. I'm not audible. Okay. So you are right that we want to increase we will find the contribution per machine hour. So the point is that we want to see, we will produce that product that will give the highest contribution per machine hour. Hai na? But actually the aim is what we want to increase the entire profitability. We want to increase the profitability of entire organization. So we have to produce the goods accordingly. So what we have to do here, we will see, we will find the contribution per machine hour to decide the ranking, है ना? देखो simple सी बात कि with limited machine hour we want to, machine hour is limited, but with limited resource we want to gain maximum profitability. Company ka with limited resource we want to give maximum profitability. For that we will see with limited machine hour which product will give you more contribution. Fixed cost is not relevant for decision because it is maybe sometime it is sunk cost, so it is not relevant for decision making. So we will see that which product will give with limited machine hour, which product will give you more profit. We will produce that product first. So here on that basis we will decide the ranking, right? So first we have calculated the contribution, right? Then divide them with the machine hour. So contribution divided by machine hour, contribution divided by machine hour, contribution divided by machine hour, contribution divided by machine hour. You can do it quickly. Do it quickly. Let's do it quickly. Let's do it quickly. Okay, I'm using the calculator. 35 divided by 0.5, this is coming as 70, right? And here it is coming as 40 divided by 1.5. So 26.67, right? And here it is 20 divided by 0.75. So this is 26. Okay, so that is clash. Okay, it is same. Let me change some value. 90 ki jagah, let's take it 100. So this will be 30. So 30 divided by 0.75 is 40, right? This figure is coming as 40 now. Now you will decide the ranking that, okay, I'll produce this product first, right? I'll use machine hour here completely. I will produce these product first because this product will give me the maximum profit for the company. This will increase the profitability of entire company. Right? So we will first produce this product. Then after that, we will, we will produce first product. Sorry, this product have highest profit. So we will first produce this product. Then we will produce this product. Then we will produce this product. Then we will produce this product. So this is how we will decide the ranking. So we will see with one machine hour, which product will give you the highest contribution. We will produce it first. Right? So this is how we will decide the ranking and we will produce the goods, right? This is what theory of constraint related question, where we will find the constraint ka matlab where we will find the place where the resource is limited, and accordingly we will do the question. Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Are you able to understand theory of constraint? Please write in comment quickly. Are you able to understand? Is there any doubt? Do you want me to explain something again, repeat something again? Yes, please write in comment. We will do the question on this now from the material, right? Is there any doubt? Please write in comment. I'm waiting for your doubt. If you have any doubt, please write in comment. Okay, so there is no doubt. Let's do it. So now what we have, throughput accounting ratio is what, ma'am? What is this throughput accounting ratio? So here what happened, we will find the throughput accounting ratio, which is what? Throughput per bottleneck minute, right? Divided by factory cost per bottleneck minute, right? So bottleneck minute matlab where your resource is limited. Right? It is the place where you have the limited resources, right? So you will divide the throughput with the limited resources and you will divide the factory cost with the limited resources, ठीक है, let's take a question and try to do this question. Okay, so this is the question we have here. Let's read the question. So I'll give you 2 minutes, just read it. Read the question, then we will discuss it. Read the question, then we will discuss this question. Read it quickly. Yes, read the question quickly. So what do we have here? We have the selling price of the product, right? Of 3 different product X, Y, Z. Then we have the material and variable cost. We have the variable cost of these product. Bottleneck resource time is given to you, right? And then what do we have here? We have factory cost and we have the bottleneck resource time available, right? Okay. So what is the requirement of the question? Company adopted throughput accounting and products are ranking according to product return per minute, right? So we will see what is the product return per minute here, right? And then we will give them the highest ranking. After that, they're asking you calculate the throughput accounting ratio. So after that, you have to find out the throughput accounting ratio also, right? Okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm doing it here. Okay. So here we have this product. Okay, we have product X. Then we have product Y. Then we have product Z. Okay, and we have the selling price, which is 66, which is 75, and which is 90. So these are the selling price. Then the variable cost is what here. Material and variable cost, other variable cost is what here. It is 24 here. In case of product X, 24. In case of product Y, 30. And in case of product Z, 40. So these are the variable cost. So if we reduce the variable cost from the selling price, what we will get? We will get the contribution, right? You will get the contribution. So what is the contribution? Can you calculate and tell me what is it coming? 66 minus 24, it is 42. Then 75 minus 30, 45. Then 90 minus 40, 50, right? So these are the contributions we have, right? These are the contributions we have. All right. After that, see what we have to do here. See here, what do you have to do? You have to find out throughput per bottle minute, right? Okay. Throughput means the flow per bottle minute. So we have to calculate this. Let's do this. Right? We have calculated the throughput contribution. Now we will divide it with the resources, right? Throughput contribution we know here, right? Okay, now throughput. Throughput per bottleneck. Right, we have to find it now. So bottleneck means the resources. You can see we have, these are what bottleneck resources. Okay. So divide it with them. Okay. 42 divide by 15. Right. Then 45 divide by 15. And then 50 divide by 20. Okay. Check it. What is it coming? Okay. I need a calculator. Okay, let me do one thing. I will open calculator here. Calculator. So 42 divide by 15. This is what? 2.8. Okay. Throughput bottleneck, right? Throughput bottleneck. Then calculator, 45 divided by 15. 45 divided by 15. This will give you 3. Then what we have here, 50 divided by 20. 2.5, I think. 2.5. Right. So this is what we have calculated, throughput contribution per bottleneck. Now what do we have to calculate? Factory cost per bottleneck. So in that way we can find the throughput accounting ratio. See, what is the question? Oh, calculate the throughput accounting ratio. So they're asking you to find out the throughput accounting ratio. And what is the formula for throughput accounting ratio? It is given here. What? Throughput per bottleneck minute. Okay, we have already calculated throughput contribution per bottleneck minute, right? You can write it here also. You can write it as throughput contribution per bottleneck minute, and then throughput contribution per bottleneck minute and divided with factory cost per bottleneck minute. Okay, so now let's calculate the factory cost per bottleneck minute. Okay, so this is your factory cost, this is your factory cost, and this is the bottleneck time. Okay, let's do it. So the factory cost is what? It is 221600 factory cost. And bottleneck is what? Bottleneck resource, overall bottleneck resources is your 75120. Divide them and see what is the value coming. So this is your 221600. Divide it with 75167. 2.95, right? So the other ratio is coming as 2.95. 2.95. What is it? Factory cost per bottleneck. The other one is what? Factory cost per bottleneck. This is coming. Now the point is that you have to find out the throughput accounting ratio, which is actually the division of these two values. Throughput accounting ratio is what? Divide them. Consider the throughput contribution per bottleneck and then consider the factory cost per bottleneck. Divide them, you will get this ratio. Okay. So let's find the ratio also. So first is your 2.8 divided by 2.8 divided by 2.95. What is it? 0.95. Okay, the second one is what? 3 divided by 2.95. So this is your 3 divided by 2.95. What is it coming? 1.0. What was that? 17, I think. 17 or 2. Next is your 2.5 divided by 2.95. All right. So next is 2.5 divided by 2.5 divided by 2.95. 2.5. This is what? 0.85. Right. So these are what throughput accounting ratios. We have the throughput accounting ratio here, right? Right. These are throughput accounting ratio. They have asked you to find it, right? Now you can decide the ranking and you can decide which product you want to produce first, right? All right. Why? Because if you will select the product which is giving you the high contribution at the limited machine hour, the overall profitability of the company will improve, right? To improve the overall profitability of the company, we will produce that good that will give you the highest contribution, right? So here, like you can see, this product Y is giving highest contribution per limiting factor. So we will, according to that, we will decide to produce this product first, then we will produce this product, then we will produce this product. Or as per TA ratio, throughput accounting ratio, you can see this is the first profitable product, then this is the second profitable product, and this one is the third profitable product, right? So accordingly, you will decide that which product should be produced first. Logic is very simple. If a product will give you high contribution, obviously, if you will produce those products first with the limited resources, the overall profitability of the company will be highest. To increase the overall profitability of the company, we have to focus on the product which will give the highest contribution, right? So for that reason, they are producing the product accordingly, right? So this is how we have to do the question. All right, Acha, I want to take one question from the quality also. I've taken a question. Let's do that questions also. Okay, this question. Okay, so this question, let's read this question and let's try to do this question. So a company is going to introduce total quality management in its company. Okay? Company wants to implement what? Total quality management in its company. And they're asking state whether and why. State whether and why the following points are valid or not for the successful implementation of total quality management. So what is happening here? The company wants to implement total quality management, right? So for the implementation of total quality management, we have to check whether the following point is good or not, whether it is enough to implement total quality management or not, whether it is sufficient to implement the total quality management or not. We have to check it, right? Okay, so what do we have here? The first point is what? Let's understand one by one. Right? Company wants to implement total quality management here. First question is that some departments serve both internal and external customer. Okay? Some of the department, not entire organization. It is mentioned that some of the department is serving both internal and external customer. These departments have been advised to focus on satisfying the need of external customer only. Oh, see what is written here. So you know what is internal and external customer. We have already discussed many times in our session that a company can have internal customer and the company can have external customer, right? So employees are known as internal customer of the company. Okay. And buyer the final person who is buying your product is the external company. So the company can have both internal and external customer, right? Internal customer means the employee of the customer, and external customer means the final buyer of the company. Now the point is that we have learned this in total quality management. If you want to achieve total quality management, you should keep the customer happy, right? Customer should be happy, satisfied. Similarly, if you want to have this, so if we want to increase for the total quality management, for the successful implementation of total quality management, customers should be happy from the business, right? And employees should also be happy from the business, right? We have to focus on both satisfaction, right? Customer as well as employee satisfaction. So if the employee will be happy, then only the customer will be happy, right? If the employee is satisfied and happy, then only the customer will be happy and satisfied, right? So here what is happening, we want to implement the total quality management in the company, right? So but what is happening, one of the department is actually serving both internal and external department. Matlab, they are actually focusing on both employee satisfaction and customer satisfaction. But now they have been advised, do not focus on employee satisfaction. Don't focus here. Do not focus here. Just focus on the external customer. Just focus here. So I hope you can answer. This is not correct, right? Is it valid to implement total quality management if we are just focusing on the employee? Sorry, if we are just focusing on external customer, that means the customer, the buyer. If you're just focusing on external customer, that means if you are just focusing on the buyer, is it enough for the implementation of total quality management? No, it's not enough, right? We should focus on both. Okay? So if we are just focusing here, it is not enough. We should focus on external customer also, right? We should focus here on external customer also. Okay, next point. So next point is what? Hold a training program at the beginning of the production cycle to ensure the total production maintenance. Now, this point is related to what? That we are providing training to the employees, right? It is related to what? This point is related to providing training to employees, right? We are providing training to the employee. Now, is it enough? Is it valid for implementation of total quality management or not? Right? This is the question. Yes, it is valid, right? It is valid. It is valid. It is enough. If we provide the training, obviously, what will happen? Employee will work properly, right? And they will work on the customer satisfaction. So it is good for the company, right? Okay. Next point is management by objective, right? We have learned about the management by objective where they give the quota, right? Or they give the target to their employee, like numerical numbers, right? Target means quantitative number. Quantitative number or what? Numeric number. So the point is that where the management gives their employee quota or target or quantitative number, it is actually not good. We have learned it. We should allow them freely to work, right? Do not put pressure in their head, right? Do not give them target that, see, you have to complete 100 files together. Today, by end of the day, you have to submit these 100 files. Do not give them work in this way. This is not good for the company, right? So what will happen? Management by objective is not good, where you are giving the employee such target that you have to complete these files today by the end of the day. It's not good. It's not at all good, right? So management by objective is not good. Next point. right? Okay. Next is what? Appoint the head of each department as a person responsible for the improvement strategy and performance measure. Ab dekho, this is also invalid. This is also not good. Huh. Janvi, right? So this is also invalid for a reason, because we have learned that if you want to improve the entire organization, right, what you should do, if you want to improve the entire organization, what we have to do for improving the entire organization, what we have to do, everyone's involvement, right? Now, if you will see in this case, what is happening, you have appointed just few people at the head of the department, and only these head of the department people are responsible for the quality, right? For the improvement strategy, for the business performance. Just few people at head of the department are responsible for it, which is not good, right? It's not good. Everyone should responsible. Even the smallest level employee, from the starting to end, every employee is responsible for the quality, for the performance of the company. So it is the responsibility of everyone in the company, right? So it should not be the responsibility of only one person in the company, right? Everyone is responsible for it. Then the next is what? I hope it is clear. Okay, everyone is responsible for improving the quality of a company, not just one person, right? So just one person is not enough. Next is what? Eliminate waste of time by documenting and procedure. Tell me, the last one is correct or not? The last one is correct or not? Please tell me. Eliminate the waste of time. Is it correct? What is happening here? Waste of time. Okay. See, waste of time is a non-value-added activity. That's completely okay. Waste of time. When you are wasting the time, it is actually a non-value-added activity. But actually, they are using here. They are not wasting the time. They are using the time. Why? Why I'm saying actually they are using the time. They are not wasting the time, because actually for every company, documentation is very important. Right? Documentation and procedures are very important. Organization should know their entire process. Then only they can identify the places where they have the non-value-added activity, they have the value-added activity, right? So to know your entire process and to document is very important. Then only you can improve your entire process, right? You can find the flaws in the process. So it is important, right? Right. So this is invalid. This is not valid, right? This is a good activity. This will help in total quality management. So it is invalid. If you are eliminating them from the organization, is invalid. It will not give the quality, right? So this is what we have the topic, right? Okay. The last one. Okay, we have learned all these points today. Okay, so two more topics are left. Let me cover those two more topic. After that, in next session, we will do the supply chain, and we can take some question or case study from supply chain also, right? Okay, let's do this one, these two topic also. Okay, these two topic. So the first topic here is what? Gain sharing arrangement, right? Now the question comes, what is gain sharing arrangement? So this gain sharing arrangement is also known as cost saving sharing arrangement. So actually the point is that when you want to do the business now, you can have two type of arrangement, right? One is that you can have a partnership firm, right? You can make a partnership firm, right? So in case of partnership firm, generally what happens, two people, they introduce resources in the company. They may introduce the capital, machine, raw material, they introduce the resources in the company, right? Two people, they introduce the resources in the company, they do the business for entire year, then whatever the profit or the losses they have, they distribute among themselves, right? Whatever the profit and the losses the company have. This is one of the arrangement, right? And here what is happening, this gain sharing arrangement is not partnership actually, right? This is what cost saving sharing arrangement. Very interesting, right? Acha, where we can use it, what is it? Let's try to understand. Where we can use it, let's try to understand. This is not profit sharing arrangement, huh? This is not like partnership. Just remember. So I've just given you an example of partnership and I've just explained what is this partnership, right? So cost saving sharing arrangement is not partnership. Let's try to understand it. So here what happened actually. So here in this case, what will happen? For example, Meena Verma. CA Meena Verma is owner of a e-commerce business. I have an e-commerce business. I am the owner of this e-commerce business. Now, what is happening in my case? For example, Mr. X, he approached to me. He said, ma'am, I have a very good idea for you, right? If you implement my idea in your business, your profitability of your business will improve, right? Profit of your business will improve. It will increase if you will implement my idea, right? So now the question comes, why this Mr. X wants to implement his idea in my business to improve my profitability? Obviously, this person have some interest, you know? This person have some interest. Yes, this person have some interest. He's saying, ma'am, see, I will incur all the cost for implementing this idea in your business, whatever is your business, e-commerce business or whatever the business you have. I will implement my idea in your business. And obviously, when you are doing something, it is not free. You will incur some cost. You will use some resources, right? So when you are doing something, you are using the resources, you are incurring the cost, right? So you will use the resource here. This person, Mr. X, will use some resource. That is the cost for him. Okay. Now he's saying, ma'am, I will implement my idea. Entire cost will be mine. But because of my idea, if your organization have some profit, this increase in your profit, not the profit which you had earlier, no, not the earlier profit, right? Not the previous profit, future profit. Because of my idea, if you have any future profit, we will distribute the future profit between us, right? In some ratio. Like he's saying, okay, you keep 60% initially, give me 40%. Then you keep 30% and give me 20%. So in this way, they are just give me 70%, right? So whatever the ratio they will decide between them, right? But they will decide the ratio in which the future profit will be distributed between them, right? Now the point is that Meena have two options. She can accept the offer, okay? And she can completely refuse it. Question, I can refuse it. If I refuse it, see, I'm not incurring any profit loss, but I'm losing something. I may have the profit. See, if I accept this idea, I am not incurring any cost, any loss. If I accept the idea of Mr. X, there is no loss because he is bearing all cost, right? If his idea will fail, right, he has to bear the cost. I will not bear the cost. But if he will implement his idea in my business and his idea will be successful, then what will happen? Because of that, if the company will have the profit, right, that's okay. That profit I can share with Mr. X. Because previously I'm not having that incremental profit, right? Just because of his idea, I'm incurring some profit. That's okay. This is an additional profit for me. I can share it with them, right? So here I have to check. Here what will happen? You have to check and see. In this case, what will happen? This situation may be not so beneficial for Mr. X for a reason. Because, for example, Mr. X have implemented this idea in my business. He has implemented this idea in my business. Since he has implemented that idea in my business, he has already incurred some cost on implementation of that idea. But this may happen that after implementation of that idea, the profit is not increasing, right? Profit is not increasing of the company. So after implementation of that idea, profit of the company is not increasing. So what will happen? Mr. X is incurring loss of this cost, right? Because the company have no profit and he will get nothing. He's incurring the cost, but he's getting nothing, right? So actually for Meena, there is no problem, right? I have no problem. If his idea will be implemented, I have the profit, I'll share the profit. If his idea will fail, I'm not incurring the cost. That person is incurring the cost. So for me, I have no loss, right? But for X, he is giving me the idea, maybe he has no other option, right? So for him, he must be very sure before implementing this idea. He must be very sure he is 100% sure that if I'll implement it, the business of Meena Verma will become very successful. When he is so confident, then only he will say yes for this agreement, because otherwise, if his idea will fail, this Mr. X has to incur this cost. But in any case, it is a win-win situation for both of them. Both of them are not incurring much, losses here. So it's a win-win situation for both of them, right? This is not a partnership, right? You can see it's not a partnership. It is just a gain sharing. If because of the implementation of idea of Mr. X, there is any gain, increase in gain, incremental profit, that increased gain will be shared between the parties. Right? That increase saving or increase gain or incremental profit will be shared between them. So this is what involved here, right? This is what involved here, right? So it's a win-win situation for both of them. They have taken an example also. I've just explained it with the help of example. So let's not take this example, right? You can read it, right? Like here, they have given you that there is a company and there is a supplier who is providing the services. Then if there will be profit, how that profit will be distributed among the partners, it is mentioned here. But what I believe, I have explained it, right? Okay. Next, the last topic. Right, then we will wind it. So the last topic is what? Next session. In next session, you will be learning about the supply chain. And you will see like every section, everything is so related. Whatever we have studied in chapter 1 is related to chapter 2. And it will be related to chapter 3. It will be related to chapter 4. And everything is related to each other. And they are beautiful business strategies. Right? Okay. So now if you will see here, what do we have? Outsourcing. Outsourcing means I'm overburdened with work. I have to do so many work today, right? So when you are overburdened with work, what will happen? You can outsource some of your work to some other organization. This is possible, right? So if you will see these days, we have many MNCs in India. See, we have many MNCs and they are all, you can see BPO. We call them BPO. What is BPO? It means that business process outsourcing. They have outsourced their business from their own home country, right? So you can see there are many companies like American banks are in India. They're working in India. American banks, they are RBS, right? British bank are working in India, right? And they have their customer service centers in India. Right? They have many other functions in India and many other MNCs, right? So actually, if you will see, their core business is not in India, right? The core business is not in India. They're not even providing the services in India, but they are using the efforts. They are using the people of India as a resource, as a labor for them. Why? Because we are cheap for them. We are a cheap source of labor for them, right? So for that reason, they outsource. Like, for example, this is USA company. They outsource their work to India, right? Okay, like we have many MNCs. You can see many multinational companies we have, those who outsource their work to India, or they outsource their work to China also, right? Because the labors are cheap in India and China. So for that reason, they outsource their work to us. Okay. Now the first question is that what is the need of outsourcing? First, when you have overwork, when your existing employee are overloaded with work, right? When your existing employees are overloaded with work, then you will shift your work to some other organization or some other people, then you outsource it, right? So this is the first condition of outsourcing. Okay. When you outsource your work, obviously you will find the cheaper resources. Like if you will see in US, people have very high salary, right? So if American company wants to do some work in America, they will end up paying more money to Americans. If a British company wants to do some work in London, they will end up paying more money, right, in UK. Instead, they have outsourced the same work to India because, you know, it's so easy nowadays, right? All trade barriers have removed, globalization, communication is so easy, internet and all, so many facilities. So it's so easy to outsource it. And the labors are cheaper here. So cheaper labor will reduce their cost. Cheaper labor will reduce the cost. It will improve their efficiency. Why? For a reason. Their work, they are now focusing, after outsourcing their work, they are now focusing on their core business, right? Core business means now the existing employee are not overburdened with work because their burden have been shifted to some other places. So the existing employee are now focusing on the core business of the company, right? The more important business of the company, they're focusing on more important business of the company. So existing business process will become more efficient. Their existing business process will become more efficient, right? Right? So you can see the company will now focus on the core activity of the company. So the process will be more efficient. They will able to provide more better product and services to their customer, right? Okay. So you can see, so this is all possible by shifting their task, operation, job, or process to some other third party. Now the question is that advantage we know, okay? Advantage is that it will reduce the cost, it will increase the efficiency of the business. Now the existing employee will focus on the core business. But what is the disadvantage of it? See, disadvantage is that lack of privacy. So for example, if my work, if I shift my work to some other person, it may breach my privacy, right? Some other person knows that how we do the work, right? So when we outsource the work to some other organization, even I have seen like some of the company, they outsource their work to some other company, right? One company is transferring their work to other company also. Not just from one country to other country, but one company to other company is also possible. But lack of privacy will come. Right? Your work will be open to other persons also, like other persons can see how you are working, right? So some of your work is open to other persons, right? So lack of privacy, but yes, loss of confidentiality. You're losing the confidential information when you're outsourcing it, right? Chances of losing the sensitive data will arise. You may lose your sensitive data also. So these things may happen when you outsource your work. Right? But the point is that a company can have the most important, company can classify here their work in this way, right? Company can have the most important work, most important and confidential work of the company, right? And maybe the clerical work and not very confidential, right, work. So companies should focus more on the confidential works, right? So existing employees should work more on their confidential work, and the work where it is not confidential, right? Just a clerical work, plus minus BRS, you know, in BPO people do BRS and all. So where it is just a clerical work, outsource it. It is not relevant that much. And even if you will lose the data, doesn't matter. Even if you will lose some confidentiality, doesn't matter. At least you have transferred your headache to someone else, right? You have transferred your work to someone else, right? So this will all come under outsourcing. I hope it's all clear. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. And in next session, we will be learning about supply chain management. Yes, if you have doubt, please ask me your doubt. Otherwise, we will wind up the session. Ask your doubt. Yes. Bottleneck and constraint is same. Muhammad, he was asking what is the difference between the bottleneck and constraint. It is same. There is no difference, right? Bottleneck is a place where your resources are constrained. Your resources are limited, right? Okay, highest contribution per machine. Okay, it's all done then. Good. So let's wind up the session. So take care, all of you. Have a nice day. We have the session tomorrow also. So we are meeting tomorrow again, and we will cover supply chain. Very interesting topic. You will find it very interesting, right? So take care, all of you. Have a nice day.